Hey, it's YORO from the future, putting this at the front of the video to let people know that this is just a reaction to the epilogue and to apologize that I'm not going to be reacting to the OVAs right away, because as far as I understand, those are available on the Blu-ray and DVD sets. I know they released a second OVA much later than the first one, however, there is a complete Blu-ray set that they sell together that has everything as far as I understand from what I've seen, so I got that in my sights, and I'm just gonna save myself to get that, you know, to do those reactions, something to look forward to. It's the same thing with like Monogatari, with Zoku Owari Monogatari, or Sinners of the System movies and Psychopaths. All these Heavens Feel Spring Song, all these things I haven't seen, well, not since I saw Spring Song in theaters, that I haven't seen just because I want to like support, you know, these things, especially if I enjoy them. And I think it's cool to like own shit like that. So I go to the trouble of like subscribing to Crunchyroll and Funimation, well, not trouble, but you know, using these sites and not like sites with better subs or anything, because I want to like at least have that, or to be doing at least that much, especially with me doing reactions to things, right? So yeah, hopefully that's understandable, and hopefully you enjoy my reaction to this epilogue and to this series overall. And now for the actual start of this recording. Yo, welcome back to even more Angel Beats. Recently watched the last episode, and yeah, I'm gonna check out the epilogue. The epilogue is actually on YouTube. I was like, wait, is this 2 minutes? Like, is this like a preview or something? Turns out that's actually just how long it is, so I was like, okay. But the last episode was obviously very good. It was such a drastic shift in tone. But the first part of it was like celebratory. It was our graduation. You know, we've come this far, we've come to these terms. Yuri was able to act like her unguarded self, which they teased her about, but she still kicked their ass because, you know, it's Yuri. And they had their whole ceremony, and of course it was sad too, especially when they all started vanishing one by one. And that was like sad, but you know, there was also that sense of like, you know, man, there's something else, you know, beyond this, you know, like Hinata, go, you know, find Yui and that kind of thing, right? And it was great, you know, maybe like imagine what the feeling would be to watch like your child graduate from high school or college, or, you know, that kind of sense of pride, just kind of watching that. I kind of welled up within that feeling. So, you know, I love that. But then at the end, it was Otonashi and Kanade, and you know, they went out and they were by the field, and it took me a minute to process what Kanade told Otonashi. You know, your heart is in me. I was like, wait, what? You know, at first I thought she was being metaphorical. I was like, but no, like with the organ donor thing, literally she was telling him that, and it took me a second to really process that. And by the time I did, like, Otonashi was already retching, like, you know, I love you, and she's, you know, thanking him like the reason that she was here for, to thank him. Just so fucking sweet. And then, but then for Otonashi to love her, and then it would seem like he was just there after kind of that vanished, you know, the scream he let out, like the tone of, like, at that point it got so like intense and fucking depressing, and then it just ended, and I was like, no dude, I gotta watch this epilogue or something. So, you know, I'm looking forward to this. But in the post-credit scene, well, before that, when everyone was appearing, apparently that was the first time Kanade showed up as well. You guys told me some very cool things in the comments for last episode, so I'll be talking about those before I start this. Thank you for leaving those. So they're all there, and then they disappear, obviously in the order like that they left. And then it was Otonashi, like, you know, we knew it would be, but then he moved on too, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess he did. And then we saw in the after credit thing, Otonashi and Kanade humming the song, and then Otonashi going to like touch her shoulder or something, and then that's where it ended. And then I was just like, you know, that's a really cool thing, you know, to what that's implying, right? But yeah, what a roller coaster for sure, and just a great series, man. I definitely enjoyed it. I think it's cool, those of you who shared with me like Angel Beats being either one of the first anime you saw, or one you saw like way back, and kind of that sense of nostalgia you hold, and you know, that feeling, you know, is there for you, like no matter how many times you rewatch it. I definitely feel that. That's how I feel about Naruto, man. No matter how many times I rewatch that or a reaction, there are certain moments that'll just stream every time, because it's just so like, well, it's a long ass series, so they had a lot of time to build up emotional weight to things. But you know what I mean, it's that kind of thing, you know. I grew up with those feels. But Angel Beats being the kind of anime it is, I think, you know, growing up with those feels is a very much applicable thing, you know, with these being kids, and then, you know, depending on the age that you saw this, could have been, you know, very relatable, or just, you know, helped you through some shit, right? So I can only imagine, man. So I think that's really cool. But before we get into the epilogue, to see what this is, because I'm still like super interested in that, like, what is this gonna be, right? I feel like I can't even fully talk about shit until I see this, right? Yeah, shout out to all of you who left comments, man, and you know, the cool things you shared with me. Nitana, Oshemp, Mini. One of those things was, of course, Kanade appearing in the ending. Apparently, the opening changed a lot with some of the shots it showed, which I never really noticed. Obviously, I noticed the change during the Yui one, but I must have been vibing to the song way too hard in other episodes to catch that. But yeah, apparently they put shots of like this episode, and each episode it kind of slowly changed like that. And I really like openings that change. That's something I always appreciate in anime, so that's cool that that was actually a thing. Apparently there were some big hints, even more than there should have been normally, regarding Kanade's thing. There was a scene when, I'm remembering it now, when Otonashi and Kanade were in the classroom. Kanade says, "I'm sure that person will say thank you to you for the rest of their life." Actually, in the Crunchyroll subs, it said her life. See, I technically could have figured it out at that moment because she wasn't supposed to say her. It's supposed to be there. So yeah, I don't know. I never would have seen that coming. I think part of it too was like, because Kanade was like here before Otonashi, right? But he dies and her life gets saved by like having his heart. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like the twist in Unlimited Blade Works. I just never, it's so outside of my consideration that it's when it's revealed, I'm like, what? What? You know, but then you go back and you see all the shit and it's like, damn, okay. Which there's apparently even more, you know, due to that translation. But another thing was that Kanade's theme. So it plays like at important moments, like when you find out her name, go fishing with friends. First of all, shout out once again, Ocean Mini, for all this cool information. I'm saving the craziest thing for the end, which is to do with their names. So it plays with all these moments with Kanade, but it also plays when Yuzuru was filling in his organ donor card, when of course she wasn't even in that scene. That is some crazy detail foreshadowing with just the music. Because yeah, him doing that, that was their link right then and there. Speaking of music, there's more when you think of like the title of the show. This is all shit that was told to me. I didn't come to any of these conclusions. Just sharing, because I think this shit is really cool, obviously. But with the title, Angel Beats, right? So Angel, like, yeah, that's Angel, but Beats. It's like, okay, you know, I've learned some of their names, so part of their meanings of their names so far, and the musical aspect, and obviously, like, Angel playing the piano, like, yeah, that's a big thing. And you know, the name of the opening, My Soul, Your Beats. But when you think of beats, as in like heartbeat, you know, it becomes a whole crazy different thing with the reveal last episode, man. It's just wild, man, because like the line underneath the logo was like a fucking EKG line, right? But I got linked something that basically breaks all of this shit down with their names. Otonashi Yuzuru, you know, the meaning, you know, silent string. That's what his name means. Kanade Tachibana, to play an instrument or a string, you know, it's part of an instrument. Tachibana, standing flower, flower that grows tall. Otonashi has no heart, so silent heartstring. Silent string. He has no heart. It's silent heartstring. Kanade, who has his heart, is the one who plays the heartstring, because she has her heart. The flower that plays the instrument, the flower that plays the string, because she has it. So yeah, beats his heartbeat. That's really cool, man. That's the kind of detail that really makes you appreciate some shit in hindsight, right? Because during, it's like you don't. There's no way to like catch all that by the end. Now, if you're like, maybe if you're really sharp and if you like come to that, really fucking cool. Big shout out to the author, because yeah, like the way that made sense at the end, like everyone got that resolution in their graduation, but the way even that, you know, Otonashi becoming an organ donor and like his heart thing, and that playing into the title, you know, with Kanade having his heart, like all that was just like, what, you know, like it took me time to process. It was crazy. And then that's basically the whole show. That moment right there makes the whole show make sense. It's crazy, man. So thank you guys, you know, for sharing that stuff with me. That's the kind of shit I really like to hear about, because and then watching it on my own, I never would have, you know, thought about it really in that way. Because the epilogue is so short, I'm going to have a link to that reaction in the description. So click that for my epilogue reaction. If you want to watch my reaction with episode audio, I'm still going to do the timer method here on YouTube just to keep the video clean. But anyway, let's go. Beginning the epilogue in 3, 2, 1. Another epilogue. Student building A, classroom. So we're still in the fucking... here? Oh. Yo, what? Is this the programmer? Yo, dude. Is this the programmer? Did he finally break free? Whoa. Wait, what? Student council president. Whoa. Something you want to do. Yo, this is how he's helped them when he stayed? He did it like this? Yo. Oh man, everyone, dude. Oh, all the scenes. Yuri too, yeah. You know what to do now. What? Wait, so this is... Holy fuck. This is how he helped them, like, because he stayed, at least for some time. You know, he eventually moved on. Oh my god. Yeah, this is how he helped, and look, it's just him. Oh my god. Yo, the pictures on the board. But yeah, this guy here. He broke free, and then, yeah, that's the end. What the fuck? Is that him then? Okay, that was crazy, because this is an NPC that broke out. We know the programmer became one, and like, the whole thing was like, for him to break free again, and then like, to find his love, and I was like, wait, for someone here to awaken like that, after everyone else has already been saved, because we know they became NPCs due to the shadows coming out. Like, that was the thing, you know, that happened. Right, there's too much love in the world that got triggered. Now, we do know, because it happened to him before, that that rule and these things were set in place due to that precedent, like with him, right? He kind of made those rules in that way. So, I mean, yeah, that's the way we think that's him. That's crazy, man. Did Otonashi just save the programmer? And I love the way he did it too. He's like very Naoi style, like he's the class president now. This is the best way he could do it, still being alone here and doing what he wanted to do, what he asked Angel to stay with him to do. I mean, that's even better than I thought, actually, because with him vanishing last episode in the outro and then obviously in the post-credit scene, I was like, oh, okay, I guess, you know, he moved on. You know, you might presume right away with, you know, Angel leaving, you know, that destroying him so much. But no, we see that he still found his resolve and did his thing. And even, you know, his answer to using the example of all his friends that overcame, you know, their shit that they, you know, got through together within this position as class president. You know, we still saw their photos on the board too. We now know that, yeah, he must have done this for however long. I don't know about the concept of time here. It's kind of like how I mentioned before with like Kanade being here before Otanashi, even though like him dying, giving her his heart means she would have died later, presumably being here after. But you know, time here doesn't have to work that way, right? That's the thing. Even thinking of the sense of like reincarnation or whatever, like exact circumstances were around seeing them in the post-credit and basically that confirmation that they did find each other again, which is fucking amazing. I'm more than willing to accept that, and you know, to know that he just stayed here and did what he said he was going to do and still wanted to do. Our fucking saint Otonashi. Okay, I just got reminded about a line that was just in this as I was like gushing over this. There's a rumor that he's waiting for someone, and the comment says, don't tell me he's waiting for Kaneda to die again and come back to this world. Dude, because you know what, talking about the programmer shit, there was something last episode that I mentioned as well, where they talk about like, I forgot if it was Otonashi and Hinata who talked about it, but there was a mention of like how Otanashi mentioned how he shouldn't, due to the circumstances, like I had a fulfilled life before I died, yet I still ended up here, which was also said about the programmer. So it's like, okay, Otanashi could just be like for them to say he's waiting for someone, because yeah, back to what I was saying earlier before I went off on this tangent, yeah, because he said the boy in the room said he became an NPC. He was like waiting for his love to come back. So, but I think that's a bait. I don't know. That seems like it could be some conspiratorial shit, but I don't know what else to make of that. Like, there's probably more there, because why else would they put that line there? That's so sneaky, dude. It's so fucking sneaky. But yeah, I don't know what else to make of that. I don't know if there's anything more there. I guess let me know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to put that together. But at the very least, but all that being said, I don't think this is an alternate ending. Like I immediately got the sense that this was like, oh, he stuck around and then he obliterated later, either maybe after he helped this guy or after he helped some more people. At whichever point, I guess he feels he fulfilled that. But and yeah, because you know the post-credit scene of him finding Kanade again is like, that was last episode, so it's like, of course that always happens, so this must be like before then. But I don't know, it could be an alternate thing, but it's called another epilogue, you know, whatever. I'm like 99% certain this is just, yeah, he stuck around for a bit because this is what he wanted to do anyway. And yeah, but yeah, I pretty much said it all. I mean, overall, very much enjoyed the show, the comedy, the feels, you know, the characters themselves, the attention to detail, how everything came together over the course of 13 episodes. You know, I was, you know, with like comparing it to a show like Anohana, who's a very similar length and kind of has the same reputation as far as like emotions and that kind of thing, was also very good at achieving what it did within those episodes. I think for this series, it casts like throughout it casts such a wide net in terms of like its comedy, in terms of the amount of characters and each of the different things they go through, and kind of the overarching, you know, thing. It's like so crazy and so like interesting, and, you know, but it was hard to tell like really fully where it was going, right? But definitely by the end, like it really came together in that way, especially with Kanade telling Otanashi what she did whenever, you know, him regaining his memories, listening to his own heartbeat that was in her chest, you know, that whole thing, just even with the title of the show and that whole thing together in that last episode was just, yeah, a good show. I'm definitely gonna add it to the list of emotional shows I always list whenever I start watching another emotional show, like Anohana, Violet Evergarden, Three-Gatsu no Lion, Angel Beats. Add that to the list. It's definitely a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, if anyone has anything to say about the epilogue or just overall how they feel about the show, I mean, all of you have already shared so much, which I think is pretty cool to read. So, you know, we can just leave it at that for now. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully my reactions to this were enjoyable, but of course, at some point we'll be coming back to the OVAs and I look forward to that. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace.